Hi, you're right. I'm Kelly Mckeating. Some of you know me, some of you don't. So I'm on tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about finding your balance, crystals, and the chakras, and maybe move into some readings and whatnot afterwards. So I could get started with the crystal thing, really. Oh, we'll do some hellos first. Yeah, yeah. That's it. So I'm going to do some hellos and say hello to a few people. Um, just finding my dowser. There we go. Ready? Yep. Hi to Elizabeth Jones from South Wales. Hi to Shelley Stewart. Hi to Christine Marias. Hope you're well. Oh, Murray. Hope you're well. Divine Empathic Tarot. Hello. Hope you're well. Hi, Stay Sure. Hope you're well. Thank you. Hi, Sarah Tinkweston. Hi, Carolyn Thomas. Hi, Orin Frederick. Hope you're well. Hello to Natalie Rogers and Claire Balangashi. Sorry if I've just obliterated your name. No pun intended. Mo May, hello to you. Hello to Deb Clark. Good to see you on here. Right, this is the new showcase show. It's all about people showcasing what they do, and just showing everybody all about their, maybe if it's a business or if we just do readings or whatever, what we do. It's just a good way for us mediums and healers and whatnot to get out there and for people to see us and to help out as best we can. Hello to Christine Davies. Hope you're well, Christine. Hi to Richard Oliver. Monica Corona. Hello. Hope you're well. Yep, that's brilliant. So tonight I was going to talk a little bit before we started about finding your balance, um, about crystals and the chakras and how they can help us just in our daily life, like havening and so on, just to bring confidence and calmness to our life and to assert us to move forward in the way that we would like to. Sometimes life takes over, we're just running on autopilot, and it's good to see where we're going and to slow down and to just use the crystals to help us move forward in a calm, collected, a way in which we can see what's going on and assert ourselves for our day, our week, our future, manifest what we want out of life. So I was going to start with obviously the crown chakra. um, I remember, with the crown chakra, it's all about knowledge. So I remember I am peace. Selenite is always good for the crown chakra. Moonstone, clear quartz. I've got some crystals just to show. We've got a nice piece of selenite. Is really, really good for the crown. Just for clearing and keeping us in our knowledge and, well, I am peace. Selenite says it all. I am peace. What else have we got for that? We've got some moonstone, piece of moonstone. You can see the colours coming off that. I don't know how well you can see it and if I'm in the camera's line, but it deflects and reflects everything that, from the crown chakra and helps us to assert ourselves with the knowledge that we need moving forward. Then we've got the third eye, awareness. I see, I am calm. So I would use like lapis lazuli for that, or some sodalite, or any blue crystals really. But I like a nice piece of lapis. I'll put it on the mind's eye there, and it always helps to open us up to spirit and calm us in ourselves. And as we move down to the throat chakra, we've got communication. I express myself freely. So, if we were going to use an affirmation with that, it would be, I am happy, I am healthy, I express myself freely. And we would use the correct crystals. It would be basically, for the throat chakra, we could use a nice bit of turquoise. I don't know whether you can see that. Basically, we'd use some blue lace agate. I've got a piece here somewhere. Blue lace agate. I've tried to. You only need to use tumbles. I've tried to pick the bigger pieces so that you can see the crystals that I'm talking about. And these will all help us in our healing, inserting ourselves forward. Different crystals for different chakras, different jobs. And as we moved, blue tiger's eye is always good as well for the throat chakra. That's also known as hawk's eye. I've got a piece here. Don't know whether you can see it very well, but you see the blue running through it. It's very much like tiger's eye, only instead of being the yellow tiger's eye, it's blue. So we've also got I haven't got any Amazonite out actually, so we won't talk about that. And for the heart chakra, we're talking rose quartz, green adventuring, unakite, and green spotted jasper, malachite, all things that are good for affairs of the heart, greens and pinks really. We must remember not really to use red crystals around the heart area if we have heart problems or we're wearing a pacemaker, because they just don't go well around the heart area. But reds are always better for the base chakra. We mustn't really use them around the heart area. I know that we think, oh, red, passion, heart, but we're better to use pinks or greens. So if we're wearing a pacemaker, I would advise you not to use red crystals around the heart. So then we're going to move down to the solar plexus, which is our powerhouse. So I act, I accomplish, I am capable, I move forward in a positive way. And for that, we can use citrine, like a piece of citrine. We've got tiger's eye. I've got one here somewhere, just the normal tiger's eye with the yellow in it. Amber, I've got a piece, but I'd have to dig through the tub, and that would just take us time. Yes, I could accept some questions about crystals as well. I'm not an expert. I've been working with crystals for many, many years, but I don't feel that, however long you've been working, you're never an expert. So I can answer you with the best knowledge that I have. We've also, lemon jade, of which I didn't get any lemon jade out, but that I always like to use a bit of that too. And as we move down to the sacral, creativity, emotion. So, if we were going to use some type of affirmation, I feel, I solve problems, I create the life I want. If we repeat this to ourselves, all of the different affirmations, if we repeat them to ourselves at least 3 times in the mirror in the morning, it makes a big difference to our lives. We start to believe what we want, and it makes big changes for us. I know it sounds a bit, but it really does work. So, for the sacral, we've got carnelian, of which I didn't get a piece of carnelian out, but I've got some somewhere, but I won't waste time looking for it. Moonstone, peach. So I've got a bit of peach moonstone. Stacey's asking a question: how do you pick the right crystal for you? So personally, if I want to pick the right crystal for me, whether it's your own crystals or you're going out to buy a crystal, it will always call out to me. I'll always know where I'm going. I'll feel the heat on the palm of my hand, or it'll just call to me and I'll know that I'm going there. But if I was doing crystal healing, I would use a pendulum. I would always sort of say, okay, I'd run it over my box. I have a box of crystals that I just use for healing, so that I always know where to find them. And I would run it over the box and I would say, right, and it's all partitioned off into different color codes. And I would say, right, okay, which crystal do I want for the base chakra? Which crystal do I want, which is your root, and so on and so on. I'd go through the chakras and I'd pick a crystal for each chakra. And I would use the pendulum. I don't know, most people that I know have used a pendulum before. There'll be plenty of people out there that haven't. So we hold up the pendulum dowser and we'll ask for a yes. And for me, it always goes round in a circle there, clockwise for yes. And if I want to know, it'll just go back and two. And it's very quick off the mark because me and this pendulum, we've been together a long time. So that's how I would pick crystals, especially if I was going to do myself a healing session. And if we are going to do ourselves a healing session, we need to remember that if we're going to set the crystals out on us and we're going to relax, or we're going to set them around us on the floor and relax within them, to set an alarm, because we don't want to cook ourselves in all that loveliness for too long, because we'll just get severely hydrated and end up with a banging headache. So if we are going to do our own healing sessions, set an alarm, ask the pendulum how long the crystals would like to, we would like the crystals to be on for after we've used it, to pick which crystals we would like. So you'd say, do I need these crystals on for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes? And then when you get to wherever you need it, it'll go round for yes. I'm not going to keep going on until we find a time, because we're not doing a healing session right now. But say if it was 10 minutes, okay, do I leave the crystals on for 10 minutes? It will give you your yes, whatever it is for you with the pendulum. And then we would set our alarm. Always remember to set our alarm. We would then put ourselves within the crystals, or lie down and place the crystals on us, and we would relax for our 10 minutes. And if we do fall to sleep, the alarm will wake us up. It's always important to remember that we must ground ourselves after we've been doing a healing session. So for grounding, I would do the same thing again. I would use black crystals for grounding personally. I always go for black crystals, like maybe a snowflake obsidian, or just a plain obsidian. This is snowflake obsidian. This is like a golden obsidian. You probably won't be able to see the gold shimmering out of it on the camera. A plain obsidian, or black tourmaline, or anything of the sorts, really. All black crystals are really good for grounding us. We could use tiger's eye, but I always prefer to use black crystals. And yet again, we will ask the dowser how long we need to be grounded properly, set the alarm, and do the same thing again. So Carolyn Feely is asking, do the stones work the same? Do stones work the same as crystals? So, I mean, a lot of it is about our intent, and stones have been buried in the earth for many, many years. And I know people do use stones for different types of healing sessions. Personally, I'm crystals and shells. I'm a strong believer in using crystals and shells. But I do know people that have and do use stones for different things. I mean, we go out for a walk, we see a stone on the floor, we're drawn to it, we have to pick it up and take it home. That's healing in itself. So I believe we can use anything to heal us. I collect different pieces of different trees, and we can use that in our healing sessions as well. And color healing, so we don't just have to use the crystals. We can heal with color, we can heal with trees, we can heal with shells, stones. So really, it's all about our intention and using our own intuition. But never ever bake ourselves in the crystals. That's one thing I would say. Don't forget to set your alarm if you're going to be doing healing on yourself. So I think we haven't done the root, have we? Did we do? We did the sacral. I'll go through the sacral again anyway, which is creativity, emotion. I feel, I solve problems, I create the life I want. We've already done the crystals for that, but that's a really good affirmation to remember for this, for the sacral. Now with the root, it's all about survival. I am confident, I am full of energy, you know, all about confidence. So I am confident, I am full of energy. Today is going to be a good day. And hi, Marcus. I set my ascensions for, you know, everything that I want to be, all the confidence that I need to move forward. And I would use smoky quartz, red jasper, tiger's eye, obsidian, any such crystals are all good for the root chakra. I have a red tiger's eye somewhere. Only I haven't got that out. So what I have got is a red hematoid, which is known as fire quartz as well. That's really good for the root chakra. It's really great. Obviously, you only need tumble stones for this. This is just an easier way for showing the stones on the camera so that you can see what I'm using. Always really good for the root chakra. Then we've got like the peach moonstone, really good for the root. All red crystals, really. The tiger's eye, red tiger's eye, which I didn't get out, but it's tiger's eye, same as the yellow tiger's eye, only it's got the red tints instead of the yellow in it. So, you know, if you were to go out and want to purchase one, they're easy enough to get a hold of from any good crystal supplier. And basically, you know, if we are feeling like we need some help in that area, so if we feel like we have a problem with our confidence, we will wear crystals that are of that colour. So we'd go for red jasper, tiger's eye, obsidian, carnelian, or any of the sorts. If we want for affairs of the heart, you know, we'd do pinks, purple, green. And it just goes from there, really. We you know, we match the crystal colours with the chakra colours and we can't go wrong. So I don't know if anybody has any questions on that or not, but we must always remember, like I said, never to use red crystals around the heart if we have a heart problem. Stacey's saying that one of the crystals is pretty. I'm not sure which one right now, but I love them all, so yeah. Yeah, okay. So we have I have written down some affirmations, some havening affirmations that I like to use if my confidence is low or for whatever reason that I feel I need to use them on the day. So Kath Halworth is saying that she's very drawn to rose quartz, and rose quartz is all about affairs of the heart. I was going to say I have got a rose quartz on. I was going to say I've got rose quartz on, thought I didn't. But I have got a rose quartz, wearing a rose quartz always around the heart area. Green adventuring. Hi Claire, you okay? So good to see you on here. Is it so? This is DJ Hopeland's show. Is it true that the bigger the crystal, the more help it will give you? I don't believe so. I believe that it's about the properties in the crystal. Doesn't really matter how big it is. I think prosperity is about the size of the crystal. It's about what we can afford. As to what we want, you know, we like to look at big, the shiny things. You know, but it could be the tiniest little crystal and it would still give you the same healing properties. Size really doesn't matter with the crystals. And with the affirmations, we've got, oh, have you ever used malachite for the heart chakra? I have. I really like malachite because it also runs white through it, and lighter greens, which I like because we've got the deep green, which is, you know, our passions and so on. And then we've got the lighter green to calm us. So really it's got all the different elements, the healing. It's really, really healing for the heart. Yeah. So yeah, Joanne Lewis is asking the same question. Have you ever used malachite for the heart chakra? I think it's a really good crystal for the heart chakra, to be fair. One of my favorites. It's got so much calmness running through it, and if we're going to use a crystal for affairs of the heart, we want it to calm us and to, you know, we want to feel good, don't we? And it's just so healing. Yeah. I've got some havening affirmations that are worth people, you know, using. It's just things that I've done over the years that have helped me tremendously. And it's like, I am love, I am light, I am worthy of love, I deserve love, and I deserve to be loved. You know, and I will, if I'm feeling a little bit low, I will sit in the mirror. I know it sounds a bit mad and daft, but I will say that to myself at least 3 times. I deserve to be loved. I am love. I am light. You know, word it however you want, but I deserve to be loved. You know, another one I like to do, and I always kind of give a little bit of this as well, because, you know, we love ourselves unconditionally. We must love ourselves unconditionally, because if we don't, who else will? And it's, I am a magnet for prosperity and abundance. I am a magnet for prosperity and abundance. I find before I go out to work, I like to do that. And I always think to myself, you know, yet again, today I am strong. I can achieve anything I set my mind to. Today is going to be a good day. And everything that happens today, you know, will turn out good for me. And we can word it however we want, but it's all about us setting our intentions to have a good day, setting our intentions that we are love, we are, you know, worthy of love. And every one of us is worthy of love. And so many people forget this. We're too busy throwing it out there for everyone else, loving everyone else, looking after everyone else, that we forget to love ourselves. You know, and people see that, and then, you know, our confidence goes down and things start changing in our life. And so we must stay assertive. I am love. I am worthy of love. Kim Lane is saying, I was gifted a large piece of rock amethyst. Is the best place in the home to put this? The thing about amethyst is it's, so it will, it kind of runs, what's the word for it? It gives us strength, confidence. It recharges us, so it will recharge us. It will just give us a bit of extra oomph. So wherever we like to sit in the home, I think that that's probably about the best place for the amethyst, or by the side of our bed, because it will recharge us. And, you know, the best place to recharge our crystals is under a full moon, or even on the windowsill under the moon. You know, best time is a full moon, but any time is good. We could bury them and do many other things, but often that leads to losing them. And yeah, I think we, so yes, and always remember, always remember when we do heal ourselves to use grounding crystals and ground ourselves afterwards. There's lots of crystals for being positive. This is Richard Oliver asking this question. Any crystals for being positive? There's lots of crystals for being positive. Personally, I'm wearing right now, I'm wearing a darker citrine that is about confidence, positivity, asserting ourselves forward. You know, if we feel good about ourselves, we'll be positive. So any red crystals are good for positivity. Pink, green, amethyst is good for positivity. Fire quartz, I find, is really good for positivity because it also helps us to, as you can see, we've got the clear quartz running through it, which is great for us getting rid of anything that we don't really want as well, any negative stuff. And citrine, you know, a nice light citrine as well, really good for positivity. And if we want protection crystals, go for anything that's black. And we've also the tiger's eye or the blue tiger's eye. Some people call it hawk's eye. All good for positivity and protection. So I don't know if there's any more questions on the crystals, but okay, yeah. So if I wanted to cleanse and recharge my crystals, I would use selenite. Oh, sorry, Sarah Tink Weston. If I were, and the question is, which crystal is it that cleanses, charges all other crystals, and do I use the full moon to recharge too? So the full moon is good for recharging all crystals. But if we wanted it for a charging plate, if we wanted to release any negativity out of our crystals, recharge them, reset them, we would put them, like you can get selenite charging plates or bowls or whatnot, but any piece of selenite, if you was to put them around it or against it, will do exactly the same job. We don't have to go out and buy fancy bowls or whatever else. The selenite, just a piece of selenite will do the job. Oh, Richard's just saying if a crystal starts to fade its color, is it the same for that? I'm afraid if a crystal starts to fade its color, it's generally because it's been sat in the sun and there's not a lot that we can do about it. It doesn't make it any less powerful. Like if we sit amethyst in the window, then it's going to lose its color. It's going to get lighter and lighter, and other crystals the same, like golden healer, for instance, or the fire agate, they'll do the same thing. Spent too long spent in the sun, they will fade, and there's not a lot we can do to bring the colour back. Obviously, whilst we're on that subject, we could talk about aura crystals. We know that they are heat treated to create the aura reflection. So that's the only way to change the makeup of the crystal would be through heat or so on, which would then aura it, cause a deflection. Yep. Sorry? Shelley Stewart, do crystals grow differently from one country to the next, and does that make a difference to the energy? Well, crystals come from all over the globe, different crystals from different places, and each crystal carries its own energy. And I think where it's been mined from has a big impact on its energy. I think that, you know, black obsidian, if we're suffering in menopause with hot sweats and whatever else, the black obsidian, snowflake obsidian, is just brilliant for cooling us down. So if we're feeling like we're really, like in the summer when it's really, really hot, if you was to carry some snowflake obsidian, that would cool us down, and so on. And this is all about where the different crystals are mined from and the job that they do. Yep. So we're going to go for some adverts now, and we'll be back in about 2 minutes. See you all in a minute.
My Spirit Life is a free online interactive magazine for those who have an interest in improving their spiritual lives. Authors can upload images, videos, and audio clips to their own articles. The public can place comments, rate the article, and follow the author. All articles are vetted before being published. For more information and to place your own article, please visit myspiritlife.co.uk. Tonight from 8 p.m, author, psychic, and medium Ellie Charles joins us for an evening of live readings. Tomorrow night from 8 p.m, our popular show, Live with Spirit, offers the opportunity for different readers each week to demonstrate their psychic and mediumship abilities.
Hi, we're back. So I thought that we could now maybe do a few short messages readings, as we've talked quite a bit longer than I thought I was going to about the crystals and whatnot. So I thought we could move into giving some messages. Yes, yes. If we could just put some names up, that'd be lovely. Hi. Okay, Catherworth. Could we just, yeah. Yeah, okay, lovely. Susan Robin. Can I go to Susan Robin? Not really quite sure yet, but so I do have a male with me who made it to at least late 60s. So, he, at the very youngest, he was late 60s. We'll find out more about him as we go along. I don't know whether you can recognize this man. He's very protective over yourself. So I would, I'm not going to tie him in yet, but I would say father, grandfather, or husband, because he's very, very protective. So, yep. So he's. I don't know whether you've been looking for a new car or somebody's been wanting to pass their test recently, but he's taken me to the cars, or he really liked his cars. Now he's putting a lot of love forward right now, like you've been going through a hard time over the past 7 months. I'm just trying to figure he's okay. So you've not had it easy over the past 7 months. There's been many different things that have come to the forefront. It's not just been private life. It's been other things out there as well. I wouldn't go too deep into it on here, but we have work. We've got our own private stuff going on at home. And I know he's been drawing close to you. I know he's been drawing close to you. I don't know whether you can understand this man yet. But he just wants to send you some healing for the things that have been going on. And I know that it's 7 months or so along we've been going through this. Now, this man gives me some kind of trouble breathing, drawing a breath, but it seems to be just below the lung area where he had the trouble drawing in. And it's also taken me to the left ear, so I don't know whether he had problems with hearing in his left ear, or whether you have the problems right now with your left ear. Now he's taken me forward to another lady that's close to you that he wants to acknowledge. I don't know whether this is he's very protective over this lady, so I don't know if it's daughter or granddaughter, because it's the same sort of protective feeling that comes through. Now, I know he suffered headaches because there's a lot of heat and suffering running up towards my head right now. Or you've been suffering with this, but I feel it's more him. And he had a very dry mouth. So that's given me affairs of the blood, whether somebody's been suffering with diabetes. I'm not a doctor, so I don't diagnose, but whether somebody's been suffering with diabetes or he suffered diabetes, just the way the heat's rushing up my neck and I'm feeling it through the blood. I don't know whether there's anything coming back on that, Richard. Yeah. Yeah, so if Susan, if you don't respond, we'll have to move on to somebody else. I can carry on for a minute or two, but when there's no response, it kind of lowers the. So I'm taking. He wants to take me to a loss that you've lost somebody over the last 12 months, but without your response, I can't really delve into that. I know that he has a lady that stands beside him at the moment, so you know, we're not hearing anything back off you right now. So we may have to move on. Okay, okay. So for an uncle, he was very, very protective over you, because he was coming across as like dad or granddad. So he must have been very, very protective and took quite a part in your life. Whether you can confirm the problems with his head and the dry mouth, and I know he had problems with flatulence, like he would have to bring up wind quite a lot. So and he's still taking me to the other lady, whether this is his daughter or sister, but he's very protective over this lady too. She would probably be in about her 30s. See, I'm not really getting much back on this. I know we do have a delay. But he would like to talk about this lady, but until we've got some confirmation, I really don't want to put it out there. I don't know whether you've had anything back off her yet, Richard. But okay. Yes, yeah. But he definitely wants to take me to the other female. He just wants to acknowledge her, and he wants to acknowledge a proudness of something that she's been achieving of late, which has taken 4 or 5 years to come to fruition. So there is a comment says about the other lady, but I think what you're saying is you're not sure about the other lady. So he wants, either way, he wants to acknowledge this other lady who is around you that has been leading up to something, and it's taken her a few years to get to where she is now, and he just wants to put over how proud he is about this. I know this isn't you. I'm not saying you haven't been doing good things, but I just know it's somebody else around you. So I know there's a delay, but it seems to be quite slow coming in, this one. I don't know whether we should move forward to somebody else and she could watch it back, and then, yeah. Okay, I'm just going to pick from some names, somebody that I'm drawn to. Okay, yeah. So I'll say a few hellos while we're going through the names. Hi, Maggie Harper Ronald. Hello, Christine M. Cousins. Brandy Kemp. Hello, Natasha J. Daguano. I'm sorry, Daguana. Sorry for, yeah. Mandy Mays. Could I talk to Mandy Mays? You know, I drew a picture of a lady the other day, and it just looks like the lady on the left in the photograph, just a little, but I feel it's a generation above, slightly thinner in demeanour than it was that I was drawing. I've got a folder here, but I don't know whether I'm going to be able to find this picture. But whilst I'm looking, I'm still going to carry on talking. So I know there's been a lot of stuff going on around you lately, and it's been a very passionate time, as in basically there's just been a lot of affairs of the heart going on. Now I've got a lady here that suffered in the lower abdomen that really wants to communicate. I'm not going to say what was wrong. It was something to do, it could have been cervical, or it could have been bowels or something of the sort. I'm not going to try and marry that down right this second, but I know that it did spread up to the liver with this lady. And I know that she went partially blind for a fair few years before she passed, but you couldn't get anything past her. I'm just looking to see if I can find this picture. I know that she was very assertive, could be quite strict at times, but was also very soft in her demeanour. If there was ever a problem, you knew you could go forward. I'm not the best drawer, and I don't know whether you can actually see this. No. How? Yeah. So I'm just going to run. Yeah. So this is the picture of the lady that I drew the other night. Now, I know this lady needed glasses towards the end of her life, and maybe for reading throughout her life. Yeah, so she did have the liver problems and lost sight at the end of her life, because I know that whatever started in the stomach went to the liver. I know that she had problems, like when she was talking, like as well, it would be like a breath would be taken away. She was talking towards the end. I mean, she has none of these problems now, of course, but this lovely lady is just pushing so much love your way. Now I know there's been affairs of the heart going on for you lately, and things going on around you. People have been pulling you into their thing, that trying to make it your thing, getting you involved in stuff that you don't want to be concerned with, but you feel like you have to sort of help out there. I know you've been carrying a lot on your shoulders right now, but a lot of this is other people's problems. Not that you don't have problems of your own, but you're carrying a lot of other people's stuff around with you. Now I know that your mum used to do similar sort of things. She was like, if anybody had a problem, they used to go to her, but she wouldn't pull the punches in the advice that she gave. She wouldn't cotton coat it or anything else. She would just tell them exactly as it was, and what you saw was what you got with her. She didn't suffer fools. If she thought you were making a mistake, she'd be the very first to tell you. If you went to her for advice, she wouldn't just agree with you and tell you what you wanted to hear. She'd just tell you straight down the line. And if you didn't like it, then that was hard luck. Now, I know that she had liver problems, but I also know that towards the end it was an infection that took her over, because it's taken it up to the back of my neck here, the infection, going up towards, like the infection went to the brain, and that's how she was taken in the end. All of this is irrelevant because she's absolutely, you know, she's fine now. Which I know that she loved to dance in her time. She absolutely loved to dance and to sing, but she liked to sing when nobody was, you know, when she thought nobody was listening. But this is something that you remember about her, that she was always, you know, singing and happy, but very assertive. And like you say, very dependent. She didn't depend on anybody for anything. Even at the end, she didn't like to ask for anything. Now, she's saying that you don't like to ask anyone for anything, but sometimes, you know, people are there, they want to help. Sometimes, you know, it's good for you to ask because you're shouldering so much of other people's problems right now. And for you, a problem shared is a problem halved. Somebody could help you with what's going on, what's been going on over the last couple of months, and you've kind of been keeping it to yourself. She's saying you could share this problem. You know, plenty of people around you share their problems with you. You just need to speak up a little bit, you know, and she wants you to tell people no, because you're not very good at that. She says you're not very good at saying no. Yeah, you are very, very alike, and your eyes were so alike as well. And now I don't know whether Dad's still here or whether he's passed, but she's saying that your mouth area was just like Dad. The way you smiled, your teeth, just like Dad. Yep. So yep, if I can leave her love with you, if that's okay. And she wants to send you lots and lots of love and remind you it's okay to say no. Yep, if we could have some more names, Richard. Yeah. Hi, Richard Oliver. Tracy Warren. Hello there. Margaret Cockburn. Kathleen Moran and Tony Moran. Yep. Hannah Sweeley. Yep. Hello to DJ. Brenda Murray. Could I go to Brenda Murray, please? So I have a lady with me, Brenda, that suffered around the heart area. I'm feeling, you know, that it was blood going into the heart through the, I can't remember what they're called, you know, through the, you know, yeah, the heart valves. I've got a feeling that it had something to do with the blood pumping through the valves in the heart area. That she suffered with for quite a while before she passed over. But I don't think this is what she passed over from. I think she may have suffered from a bit of angina too. I know that you do have a look at this lady, but you take more to your dad. So I don't know whether she was mother or grandmother, but she's saying you had a look of her, but you took more to dad's side. Okay. And you have been having a problem with your lower back of late. She's taken me to the lower back, and she gave me the impression that this is a problem that you have, more to the left-hand side. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, so you know, but I'm just giving you what she's given me, and if we do have any problems, we should always go to the doctor. Now, she was okay, no response up to now. I'll carry on for a little minute, but then we'll have to move on. So I know this lady was very, very forgetful towards the end. She's taken me to a little dog, but there was 2 ladies that used to help her out as she was very forgetful. Towards the end of living at home, it was quite hard to leave her on her own, because we didn't know what we were going to come back to. And we've not had anything back yet. I will carry on for a minute, but as we're a bit tired for time. Oh yes, she's back. Yes. So I'm gonna, don't know whether you can take everything that I'm saying about this lady. She had she was very forgetful, so maybe some kind of dementia or Alzheimer's. She's saying that you looked more like your dad. We're taken to a little dog that she wants to remember, and there was 2 ladies that used to look after her quite a lot, because towards the end she couldn't really be left on her own. Don't know whether we can acknowledge any of that. Now, your lower back, she's taken me again to your lower back. Not her lower back, but your lower back. Like you've had a few problems there. And I think it goes down into the left hip too, you know. Whether you can acknowledge this. Now, yeah, so this lady is telling me that you have something to be congratulated for right now. She wants to congratulate you on something. There's been some changes and she wants to give congratulations. She wants to take me to the month of October. Now, I don't normally do months, but she wants to take me to the month of October, and she wants to give me the name June. So I don't know whether we can acknowledge any of that or have had anything back off that. Now, she's taken me to the throat, which tells me that you don't say what needs to be said, that you've been biting your tongue over something and you need to just open up and say what needs to be said. She was very, very subdued, but like, as in, like, you know, she was laid back. She'd watch what was going on in a situation. She wouldn't really say much. And she's saying, you do a bit of this, but there comes a time when you need to say what has to be said. And you've been biting your tongue, which has created a few problems for you here too. I don't know whether we're having anything back off that, Richard. Yes, yes. I think if we're not having anything back, we might need to move on from that, because she could watch it back and, you know, take what she can from that. Yes, yes. So I'm afraid that's the end of the show tonight. Thank you all for coming. It's been really good to see you. Thank you for all the shares and, you know, liking and this, that, and the other, and for supporting SPTV. And we'll be back on at 8 p.m. with Ellie Charles, so not too long to wait. Should be a really, really good show. So tune in. Okay, bye now. Thank you very much.